Hi guys, it's Lisa Rose. I am jumping on pretty quickly these days. Life gets hectic sometimes, and I just happen to be in one of those very hectic moments in my life. I'm presently cleaning my closet. It's very tough for me because I have been a hoarder of clothes for so long. I guess I had a fear that I was going to gain the weight back again, and so because of that, it's been really tough for me to let go of a lot of my plus size clothing, but I know that I need to do it because there's no going back to 315 pounds. So because of that, I have been cleaning up my closets and then putting stuff on the auction sites or the yard sale sites, and then once you do that, your phone blows up with people wanting to come pick it up. So it's been pretty hectic. But I don't care because it means that the old stuff is going out and I can embrace more new stuff in my new life. So I wanted to jump on and kind of finish the topic that we started the other day about stomach surgery. So I kind of briefly went over a whole bunch of stuff. I threw all kinds at you at once. So just wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about stomach surgery. Now, again, when I say this, guys, I have experienced it, but not for the same reasons for weight loss. I had stomach surgery because I had stomach cancer, which is much different than going in for the gastric bypass or the sleeve. So when you first get approved for stomach surgery, they want to see whether or not you are going to be committed and be able to maintain and live this life. So when you first go see the surgeon, they will put you on a liquid diet of jello, pudding, and chicken broth or beef broth for a period of 2 weeks. After you've had that 2-week period, then you make an appointment with the doctor, which could be another month or two, because remember, he only does 20 surgeries a year. There's an 8-year waiting list for this particular doctor in Nova Scotia. So after you've done your 2 weeks of the liquid diet, you make an appointment again a month or two later. You go in and they ask you whether or not you were able to tolerate the liquid diet. If you were, at that point in time, they will book you for your surgery. Could be another month or so before you have it. Once you have your surgery, you go in, you get weighed, you have any questions asked, because remember, this is a severe surgery and you can die from the surgery. You have a very high risk of dying through this surgery. But most surgeries now, they do not cut you wide open. If I felt comfortable enough, I would show you guys. Maybe I'll place a picture of after my surgery on my page after. But you will see I had 2 slits on the top and 5 along the bottom. Sorry, 3 on the top, 4 on the bottom, and stapled. So they do this because you're able to heal it quicker, supposedly, as long as there's no infection, which I ended up having a very bad infection, which landed me off work even longer and had to have VON come in and take care of me during that time. Talk about shoe on the other foot when people you work with are coming in to take care of you. So after you've had surgery, you recover. My surgery was very lengthy. I was in there for over 6 hours and then an hour and a half of recovery, I think. I went in first thing in the morning, and I just remember it being maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night before actually seeing my family. So when you wake up, you can't sit up. You're going to have a ton of abdominal pain. They've put air in your stomach, so your stomach is going to be extended. You're going to have a lot of gas pains, and they're going to recommend that you get up and move around because you can also develop a clot very easily from the surgery. So after you're up walking around, if you're able to do that, then you're going to start getting injections in your stomach to make sure that you don't get a blood clot, and a very low dose of morphine unless you can't handle the pain. You're in the hospital about 3 days, to which you go home with whatever family support you have to help you through it. So when you first are in the hospital, the day after surgery, they're going to get you to try to drink some water. This happened very quickly. I knew that I was going to have to try to drink some. I was scared. My fear was I was going to bust the staples and have to go back on the operating table because I almost didn't make it. I was given a 30% chance of living in the first place with this surgery, so I was scared as it was. So my first one was an ounce of water every hour. So for those of you that don't know what an ounce looks like, those little cups of medicine that you give your kids when they have a cold or something like that usually are about an ounce. So I had one of those every hour. And very quickly, I had gotten 2 or 3 of those down, and they ran in with Boost and Inshore, whatever the hospital had. And the next thing I know, I had platters of food, of liquids delivered. So broth and Jello and yogurt, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is something on after the surgery they really push. You need 80 to 90 grams of protein a day to be able to maintain your good health, because your hair will start falling out because you're not getting enough protein. So whenever you eat a meal after this, after you're done the liquid diet, which you do, I think it was 2 weeks to a month that I was on the liquid diet after surgery to allow my stomach to heal. And then I went on what they call a mince diet, where you could have ground hamburger and everything ground and minced up, or baby food, to which I had that for 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And then I was able to eat semi-regular food. When I say semi-regular food, I can't eat raw vegetables. I can't eat pork. I can't eat rice. I can't eat potatoes. The list of I can'ts now are long. Am I complaining? No, because I had cancer and I had a choice. Either have the surgery and deal with the outcome of the surgery and trying to learn how to eat again and trying to live this way, or die. Not a choice. So now I struggle. So every day I have to get 80 to 90 grams of protein. So after the surgery, I lived off of lean protein shakes from GNC. The other thing is that for every 100 calories you have, these are the rules. For every 100 calories you have, which after surgery, they only want you to have 900 calories a day. That's the diet you're supposed to be on for eternity. 900 calories is not a lot. For every 100 calories that you have, you're allowed 8 grams of sugar. Again, hard to find things that follow in those things. So between Shakeology and the lean shakes, that was pretty much what I lived off of, because I was trying to get the damn protein in me. I had to get 80 to 90 grams of protein, and I had to stay within 900 to 1,000 at highest calories and very low sugar. Next to impossible, guys. If you pay attention to the labels on any of the food that you eat, you will recognize that that diet is hard to maintain. The other thing is things that I used to be able to tolerate and used to be able to eat, I can no longer tolerate. If I eat, or I eat too fast, or I don't chew things. Literally, when I first had surgery and could start to eat food, I had to sit there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had to chew 21 times every bite in hopes. And then you just get tired, your jaw hurts, you don't want to eat anymore. So it took me about a month after surgery. Probably, I had surgery September, so I'll say December. I was anxious and scared to death of Christmas baking, of going to my family's for Christmas dinner. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what kind of judgment was going to come. They always judged me for eating too much, and now I was going to be sitting there, to their opinion, starving myself. I don't starve myself, guys. I've just learned new ways of eating. And that's where Beachbody really came in. I was a Beachbody coach in March, but kind of like was a discount coach and didn't really pay, I watched the videos and kind of knew what it was, but I didn't really pay attention to what was going on until I had my surgery. And then I was like, okay, I need to figure this out, because these girls are telling me how I'm supposed to be eating and how things are supposed to be done, so I'm going to pay attention now. So I did. And so I can eat lettuce. When I say I can't eat raw vegetables, they don't agree with me. I can't sit there the way that I used to eat and eat salad. Now it's every few days I can have a salad, but I need to be prepared that that salad may or may not agree with my stomach. So because of that, it makes it quite difficult, because everything I've learned throughout the years on how to lose weight has now been tossed out the window. The other part to this diet, because you have to focus on protein, you don't have room in your diet for carbs. So when I started fainting, guys, my dietitian said, well, Lisa, you have no carbs in your diet whatsoever. You need some carbs in your diet. That's why you are passing out. So I allowed some. I don't eat grains. I don't eat anything like that. I'll eat a sweet potato when I feel like I want some carbs. I have to keep a diet journal for my dietitian and my surgeon. That will be a lifetime thing. The other thing for me, my growth was bigger than what they were expecting. That's why they let me go through the liquid diet and whatnot, because they thought it's there, but immediately you don't need it removed at this point, but it does need to be removed. So when they went in, they said that my liver was too fatty. That's one of the reasons why I had to go on the liquid diet prior to my surgeries, because my liver was too big and too full of fat to be able to lift it up and get in towards my stomach. The problem was when they got in there for surgery, not only was my liver, I hadn't lost enough fat during the 2 weeks of liquid diet, but my pancreas, and your pancreas is what creates insulin. It's kind of an important organ, had been wrapped around the tumor. So basically the tumor had grown in around my pancreas. So because of that, when they had to undo everything, my pancreas is actually damaged. So because of that, I have to go weekly to the hospital to go get blood work to make sure that I have not become diabetic and my insulin levels haven't gone up. These are things they didn't tell me. In this lovely little book where they say, you have cancer and you need to have these surgery, here's the book that we're going to give you. They didn't tell me the following things: that I would have to constantly go for blood work, that I constantly would throw up, that to think about the amount of water a person is supposed to drink a day I can't do it. I literally can only drink 4 ounces at a time, and that's uncomfortable, and I feel horrible and sick, or feel like I'm drowning. I couldn't even think about drinking alcohol or going out partying with my friends. For an example, my mom's birthday was the other day, and we took her last night to Chinese food, and they only will allow me to order either off the menu or buffet. Well, who wants to pay $20 for about 4 bites of a buffet? So I told the girl what was happening, and she said, well, it's going to be 25 minutes or more for ordering off the menu. So my mom's like, oh, just, maybe, and my daughters too, they're like, just go off I don't know what happened there. So I did, and then the girl took pity on me and said, because she came over a couple times, and this tends to happen when I eat out now, is that I have waitresses stand over me and say, is there something wrong with your food? And I'm like, no, I can't eat it. So she took pity on me last night at the Chinese restaurant, and normally they don't let you take anything to go when you have a all-you-can-eat buffet, but she did because she knew legit I couldn't eat anymore. I did overstuff myself and ended up driving home and trying to push myself home before I power puked. And puking actually gives me a sense of relief, because I can't even tell you the amount of pain that I'm in. This isn't like Christmas dinner and you overate and you're stuffed and you're like, okay, I need to go sit on the couch and unbutton my pants. This is like hot pokers being stubbed in my stomach, and I feel like I'm gonna die. The other part to this thing too is I'm struggling to get water. I'm struggling to get food in, but your bowel movements. Yeah, we're going there. I know, too much information, but you need water and proper nutrition to have proper bowel movements. So because of that, when you have stomach surgery, you can actually become constipated and septic, which means that your bowels are obstructed and it's leaking, basically, and you can die from this. Also, something they didn't tell me before I went for surgery. What they also didn't tell you is they told you needed to be on a multivitamin after surgery. They didn't tell you for life you're going to have to take a bazillion different pills to be able to get in the nutrients that you no longer can eat. Now, when I say this to you guys, a normal person that has a gastric sleeve will have 80 to 90% of their stomach removed. I am struggling and passing out and fainting and weak all the time and struggling to get my food in, and I had 40% of my stomach removed. So just put that in perspective for you guys. I'm on the lower spectrum of what people that have had weight loss surgery go through. The other part to that is my hair has been falling out a lot. I hate showering. I hate washing my hair because my hands will get glooped with my hair. And I have a garbage can sitting outside the bathtub now that I just keep pouring my hair in. I hate brushing it because my brush gets full after one moment. My hair used to be so thick that I couldn't put an elastic twice. Now the elastic goes like 5 times. So it's very rare that you will see my hair down because I'm very conscientious of it. So recently I went to a hairdresser and I asked her what was the best thing, and she said to cut it short so it looked thicker. So my hair used to be down to here, thick, curly, beautiful hair. My hair is now paper thin, going straight, which they told me after cancer your hair can go different. Some people's go very curly. Mine happened to go straight, which I'm hoping my curl comes back. So my hair is now up to here because of the surgery. So when you are thinking about stomach surgery, guys, I really, really want you to think about it, because nobody should have to go to that route unless you have tried everything. You are looking at a lifetime of pills, injections, blood work, possible more surgeries, obstruction of your bowels, your hair falling out. And I don't just mean the hair on your head, your hair on your eyelashes, your eyebrows, your hair falls out because you're not getting enough nutrients. You are looking at blood work all the time. You are looking at a weekly or bi-weekly appointment with your dietitian. You are looking at so many different things in your life because you are going to be a revolving client at your family doctor, at your surgeon, at your dietitian, and the blood work people. That is my everyday. So when I am not out on the road doing my normal job, which I gotta tell you, evening shifts kill me. I have no energy. It is hard for me to keep going when your body isn't getting the proper nutrition. Your body doesn't get the fuel. Food is fuel. If I'm not getting the fuel in, I can't keep my engine going. So when I get switched to evening shifts, and I've been up since 6:30 because I'm a morning person. I can't nap before I go out in the evening shifts because our evening shifts start at 12. So I try to get nutrition, then I'm on the road until 10 o'clock at night. How do you eat when you're on the road if you haven't packed proper nutrition? So guess what happens? Come 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm feeling woozy. I barely can see. My eye starts going blurry. And then the next day, I may or may not be able to work, which impacts my work. I'm fortunate enough I work for a company that's pretty respectful and understands that I've had cancer and I've had surgery and all these different changes in my life. But if I was working at the call center that I used to work at, and not to say, but I would have been gone by now. They wouldn't have kept me on because of it. So when you guys are thinking about stomach surgery for weight loss, A, 8 years waiting list. B, you have to go on 2-week liquid diet to prove that you can handle the liquid diet. And look at all the consequences, guys. Is it an easy fix? No. The doctor in Nova Scotia will only do the sleeve surgery. He will not do gastric bypass surgery. Gastric bypass surgery has a higher success rate of rapid weight loss, but a higher risk of death. So the surgeon in Halifax will only do sleeve surgery. So keep that in mind. Second of all, sleeve surgery has the highest rate of failure because you can actually stretch, your stomach is a muscle. You can stretch that stomach muscle back out and gain all your weight back. You want to keep that in mind when you start thinking about that too. You have to change here to change here, right? That's my cancer and getting sick had a light bulb moment for me because I realized I had 30% chance of living and I wasn't living. So yes, having the growth removed has helped change everything for me, but it's changed so much in the other direction and given me back some. Am I not grateful? You'll never hear that. I'm extremely grateful and thankful that I had this surgery because I have more years with my kids. So poke me with your needles, send me for your scans, do whatever you need to do because I have more time with my kids. That is more precious than anything else they could have gave me. I'm only making this video because for those of you that are thinking about stomach surgery, you need to think about it. Research the hell of it. Don't just say, I'm going to get stomach surgery and I'm going to get skinny and I'm going to wear the clothes I want to and blah, blah, blah. Sit and research the hell out of it. It is your body. You could die on that table. For what? To wear skinny jeans? No. Get up, go for a walk, change your diet, and pay, like anything. Personal development. You will be amazed if you add personal development in your day. Honestly, had I known all of this, I mean, I didn't have a choice. I had cancer. But I have a choice now. And I'm making it. I'm making it every day to get up. I had my Shakeology for breakfast. Woo, For breakfast this morning, I did have lettuce today. I did have a little bit of salad. And for supper, I had chicken stir fry. Again, I have to be careful in my stomach because my doctor wanted me to go back on a liquid diet because I was in a lot of pain and I potentially could have a rip in my stomach right now, to which I will find out Thursday or Friday. So that's kind of the other thing, guys. If you overeat or you pick up something heavy or you do things outside the norm that you're supposed to, you can actually rip your incision and cause yourself to go back in for surgery because anything you eat is going out into your body or creating big globs of food that they have to go in and remove. Disgusting, I know, but these are the facts. So I'm going to leave it at that. I probably will at some point show you guys the binder. I will do another video. I just want to give you guys some food for thought before you go to that route. Whether you sign up with me with Beachbody and work out with me and drink Shakeology, or you go to one of the other programs, there's tons of them. Weight Watchers, Simply for Life, it works. There's tons of them out there. Think about those and exhaust all those first before you allow somebody to go in and cut yourself up and deal with a lifetime of consequences. That's all I'm going to say. All right, well, have a good evening, everybody. Take care, and I wish you all the blessings in the world. Good night.